Time now for a Turkey Valley coach conversation with head coach Carla Nymeyer. The Turkey Valley girls have won 4 in a row. And, coach, you're playing some good basketball right now. What do you credit your good play as of late to?
I think just, as things have been going along, we've just been getting better and better each day. And the girls have, definitely have certain goals in mind. So I think that that's driving them, even more to do better. Um, so I think just getting more comfortable with what we're doing, working harder in practice has made a difference.
And looking at your team in the scoring column early on in the season, Allie Hofert was putting up some very good numbers for you, and Allie's still putting up some pretty good numbers for you. But a lot of other girls have been stepping it up offensively as well, it seems. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. Kind of like we talked last time, Jacqueline Schmidt coming off the bench has helped us a lot. And also JC Byrne getting her numbers back up there. Last year she was, one of our top two scorers. So she's kind of getting things figured out there again now for this year. And Kara Reichs, Jalissa Blazik, they're all stepping in there doing the little things that they can do. And, they contribute those, 6 to 8 points a game. That's what we need. So um, hopefully they'll continue to be aggressive and that we get other girls that also will look to step up, whenever needed. And the thing for Allie too, she's still scoring good numbers, but we're getting a lot of attention from other teams where they're focusing on her. So kudos to her for staying after it and still continuing to be aggressive even though other teams are trying to hold her back.
I know one of the wins during this winning streak was that double overtime game up at Walk-On, 79-78. You guys got the victory in that one. I imagine that's going to be one the kids are going to remember for quite some time. What does winning a game like that do for you in the big picture, perhaps?
Yeah, well, definitely gives us a lot of confidence. Walk On has a very solid team, a team that presented us with a lot of problems, especially their height and size came into play because we aren't a tall team by any means. Um, and they were able to convert on several things because of their height. But I think the fact that we just stood up to them and kept after it was a huge compliment for our girls to do that. And also going into the double overtimes, essentially you got 3 games in one. So we had the different scenarios at the end of how each of those the game played out in terms of each of those overtimes and the different looks that we had and things we had to adjust to or try to stop or whatever the case was. So that in itself, just that experience was ultimate.
And you look at your team defensively this year, outside of that walk on game, there hasn't been a game in regulation this year that you've given up more than 50 points. That's a pretty good total. What do you credit that to?
Um, well, I think defense is, one of the things that we definitely pride ourselves on and that we work hard at. We have girls that can do a very good job at it. So they like to take a lot of pride in that too. So I think that's a big thing. Um, and we talked to the girls about the fact that we want to try to hold teams down. I know when I coached with Mr. Dan Steppen, he always indicated, you hold those teams under, 40 points or 50 points and you score, you know, getting out there and scoring 50 points, that's the thing you need to do. So the girls have responded well in terms of defense and we've had some lapses here and there, but we learn from that and move on.
And your next game will be North Fayette Valley, the conference leaders coming to town tomorrow night. You lost down at their place by 4. How are you a different team than you were in that first matchup? How are they a different team than your meeting in December?
Right. Yep. Well, all of the teams, I'm sure, over the time frame have been improving on different things and maybe looking at some different things. So we've done that also. Um, and I think with that first outing that we had some lapses here and there. that we need to take care of, and that was just by effort, you know. So we've been talking a lot to the girls about the fact that they need to be ready to go. Um, so I think that came into play. And like I said, you know, different defenses, some of the teams in our conference are throwing at you. So we've been trying to make sure that we're adjusting to that possibility and be prepared for that.
And obviously, you're focused on one game at a time, but this one, a key one in the Upper Iowa Conference race, and you're about probably a week or two away from getting your postseason pairings for Class 1A. Does that get discussed at all, or do you really kind of try to take care of your next opponent and let the other chips fall where they may?
Yeah, I would say we just really focus on one game at a time. You know, definitely in the back of our heads, we're concerned about possibility of what might turn out in terms of the postseason. But I think it's just trying to keep the girls focused. You know, like I said, all of these teams are going to get better. They're not going to be the same team we played the first time around. We've got, you know, 4 really tough games coming up in a row here. So, you know, we just have to take it one game at a time, be ready to go.
All right, Coach. Hopefully, you can keep things moving in the right direction starting tomorrow night. We wish you best of luck, and hopefully, it's a fun January and February of Trojan girls basketball.
All right. Thank you very much, Darren.
Carla Nymeyer on this Trojan Coach Conversation.